All right. Welcome to Awakened Ave. I appreciate you stopping by. So today I want to pose a question to you guys, and that is, do you treat complete strangers better than you treat the people that you say you love? And I want to give you a couple of scenarios and ask the question, if you do that, why is it that we do that? And I want to tell you a little bit about my awakening, how I awakened to even when I was being kind, there was a self-seeking motive attached to it. So this is kind of about selfishness and selflessness, and if it's even possible to be completely selfless, and also, why is it that we find it so difficult to treat the people that we love and that we see every single day with patience and tolerance and the same kindness that we give complete strangers. So I hope you watch the video to the end. I hope you engage with me and comment a little bit, and because it's just cannon fodder if I'm up here talking about it. I want to give you a little story right off bat about how I awakened to this realization that my kindness was self-seeking in nature. And yeah, so please watch to the end. Please hit like, please share, please subscribe, and let me know your thoughts. So I'm a person in long-term recovery, and there's a line in our literature that says, are we not self-seeking even when trying to be kind? And that's a really deep question. And one, that I say all the time, that it is, it's always about self-reflection and finding the answers within. So I want to know if it's even possible to be kind without a self-seeking motive, and are you aware that you're self-seeking even when you are trying to be kind? And maybe you're one of those people who say they're not, and their kindness is just kindness, and that's okay too. But I want to tell you about how I come to this realization, how I awaken to this realization with a story right off bat. So I was arrested for multiple sales of narcotics, and I was out on bond, and I was immense suffering, right? And I had kind of given up, my identity was stripped from me, and I had this profound shift of perspective and of consciousness, and I went from poor me, my life is over, to suddenly realize my life isn't over, it's just beginning. But I was going to have to go away for a little while, and my sentencing date was coming up, and I was going away with my head held high and with this newfound perspective, and everything was perfectly aligned the way it was supposed to be. But I had borrowed this book from this individual, and I had it for a couple of weeks, maybe a month or so, and I was getting ready to go away for a while, and I wanted to make sure I returned it. So I was so filled with gratitude that I stopped and I bought him a card at CVS or Walgreens or something like that, and I filled it out and I slid it inside the book. And when I go to meet up with him, he's sitting in his vehicle, and I hand him the book, and he kind of tosses it nonchalantly in the back seat. And in that moment, I'm like, hey, just to let you know, I left you a little something inside the book. And he kind of throws his hands up in the air like, why did you tell me? And I said, well, I didn't want you to put the book on your shelf and forget about it for 10 years. And he goes, it would have been a nice surprise in 10 years, wouldn't it? And he kind of alludes to the fact that I robbed him of discovering it. And in that moment, I kind of awakened, right? It kind of slapped me in the face and said, wow, my motive wasn't just being kind to buy him a card and show my gratitude and appreciation. I wanted him to recognize what I had done. I wanted to be appreciated for what I had done. And it slapped me like a ton of bricks, and it made me really think about, like, have I ever done a kind deed without expecting something like that in return? And that's a question for you guys. And is it even possible to do a kind deed without expecting something in return? And I started coming up with all these scenarios. And I'm going to give you another scenario. And then I want you guys to really ponder if there's a self-seeking motive behind the things that we do in life. So imagine you are going to the store, and you are walking in the store. It could be any convenience store, 7-Eleven or whatever it is. And as you're holding the door for somebody to come by. Are you holding the door out of kindness? Or are you holding the door because you want a reaction from that? You want this stranger to see you in a certain light. You want them to say, what a nice person that is. And if that is the case, it's okay. But if you're saying you're holding the door just to be kind and nice without any attachment to the outcome, without expecting anything in return, then how do you feel when that person just brushes by and doesn't say thank you and doesn't show any recognition and doesn't validate it? Or what is your mind saying in that moment? Like, see if I hold the door for them again, or maybe something else, right? It's like, and this was a sudden realization to me that I wasn't just doing things to be out of the kindness of my heart. It might have played a part in it, but it wasn't the whole reason, right? I wanted some sort of reaction out of people. I wanted these strangers to see me as I couldn't see myself. I wanted them to see me as like this kind young man or old man, or however you say it, right? Or this kind person who is patient and tolerant and giving, when I was none of that. And I started to relate it to the people that we say we love, right? So how are we patient for people to wait 30 seconds or so to come through the door, but we tell our girlfriends or our boyfriends, like, would you hurry up, we're running late, right? And how is that dichotomy in your life? And I started to see through the veil that I didn't have much patience or tolerance for the people that I truly cared about. But I could give it to complete strangers because I needed that sustenance from them, right? I needed from other people, for people to say like, oh, Howard is such a nice guy. And it doesn't mean that I was a bad person, but I was doing things in order to get a reaction. And that question, are we not self-seekers even when trying to be kind, runs really deep. I mean, if you're a man and you're buying your wife flowers, is there not some sort of reaction that you're going to get from that? And are they not going to put it on social media? And are they not going to build up your ego and identity, right? To some degree. Now our friends are going to be like, oh, he's such a great guy, or she's such a great girl, or look what they do, right, for their significant others. And is it even possible to give without expecting anything in return? And I think it is. But it is super difficult. and a few more examples. If I give a homeless guy $100 and I don't tell a soul, the homeless guy knows, and he shows his appreciation or gratitude towards me, and that reaction provides something to build up my self-esteem, right? Or if I leave a tip in a restaurant and I walk out and I don't even get a reaction from him, the person inside knows who left that tip, and that in itself provides some sort of fulfillment to me. And I think the only way to really do this is to give without the person who's receiving it even know you've given, and without telling a soul. But even that provides some internal joy to us, right? And so it is, if not impossible, extremely difficult to give without getting something in return. But that's not really the focus of this video. The focus is, do we give to complete strangers more than we give to the people we love? Can you hold the door for somebody at 7-Eleven, but then yet yell at your significant other that they're taking too long? Can we show tolerance and patience and kindness to complete strangers, but then not give it to the people that we truly care about? And those are questions for you to ask yourself, right? And when I suddenly realized that there's a selfish aspect to me being kind to complete strangers, and and that I wasn't given that same levels of tolerance, patience, kindness, and love to people that I claimed to truly care about, I could correct that behavior. And I could realize that, hey, if I'm going to do this for a complete stranger, I should be doing it for the people that are in my household or that I'm surrounded by. We are supposed to be kind to other people, but I believe a much more important demonstration lies in our respective homes, our occupations, our neighborhoods, our friends, our perceived loved ones. And when was the last time you truly expected nothing in return? It's very difficult to do. But I think when we show empathy to other people, the spiritual return is greater than any acknowledgement. From our family and friends and loved ones. I don't know. It's just something for you to think about, and I want you guys to self-reflect and say, do I do those things? Am I self-seeking even when trying to be kind? And it's okay. We all are. It's unavoidable to a certain degree. But once you know it, once you know there's a reward for it, and you could check your motives now. Am I doing it solely for that reward, or am I doing it because I truly, truly, truly want to give kindness to somebody? And today, I try to diminish the payoff as much as I possibly can. I try to give without needing the validation or the appreciation or the recognition for being kind. I get my rewards on a spiritual level, on a different level. There's no need to thank me for things today. But it's very difficult to do. To be kind and expect nothing in return. I think the most valuable commodity we can give people is our time and our attention. 100% undivided attention. Thanks for watching. Please hit like, please share, please comment. Please let me know your thoughts. I really, 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 really want to know how you guys are kind without expecting anything in return, if it's even possible.